Yes, I'm fine. I'm with.
At home? You are at
So,
home?
huh?
You are at home?
Yes, yes. Now I am at home. Now I am at home.
Okay. Hmm.
I returned from clinic just half an hour back.
Just a minute, huh? Need to set up the Kirtan and so that everyone can join.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Bhajana Ranjana
Yashodanandan Braj Jani Ranjana
Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana
Yashodanandan Braj Jani
Jana
Ranjana
Sira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jana Sira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jai Vallabha Girivardhari
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jai Vallabha Girivardhari
Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana
Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana
Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana
Jana Sira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jana Sira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Who you are, understanding where are you coming from, understanding where are you headed for, how, for different types of activities, there's going to be different types of punishment. Just like all of you know, if you don't follow, for example, the speed limit on the highway, you'll get a ticket, or if you don't put the seat belt on, you can get a ticket, etc. So similarly, from this Vedas, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the 5th canto, we understand how for different types of sinful activities. One engages, one receives different types of punishment. So we must cultivate the Vedic knowledge also. And when we cultivate the human Vedic knowledge, we understand Kamasa Nendriya Priti Labo Jivata Yavata Jivasa Tattva Jigyasa. That is, do not waste this valuable human life like the cats and dogs, but rather utilize the rare human body for a happy purpose, for a happy ending, or for serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
This week,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you for joining today, and my apologies for a gap, but there were so many things going on. There were many guests visiting Boston, and we were traveling, so we could not conduct a lot of sessions. And hopefully, upcoming weeks also we have Janmashtami that week. Be with Viji, because it's Saturday, Sunday, Janmashtami. So we have some services in temple. So I'll be busy with that. Otherwise, I hope to continue regularly our sessions. Okay, should we start?
Yes,
Okay. All right. So let me close one thing. Tabs open. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading from chapter 9, right, Kamini Mataji? Chapter 9, which is sloka, do you remember? Mataji is there or no? Or she just left? I can find out from YouTube easily. Could be easy one.
9:33.
9:33. Okay. So we'll read a few slokas previous quickly just to review. Can you see my screen so far? Okay, let me reshare. Okay, can you see the screen now? Okay.
Yes.
So we are reading from this chapter 9 so far, the most confidential knowledge, and we'll continue from 33. But before that, we all can read just translation from I think 26. Okay. So 26, I'm reading first one, second one maybe Kamini Mataji can read, and then 28 one can Kaustubh Prabhu can read. So 26, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, and water, I will accept it. Kamini Mataji 27. You're muted, I cannot hear you.
Whatever you do, whatever it offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
Yeah. 28.
28. Only that much, no?
Yes, yes. The next one, Kaustubh Prabhu will read 28.
Next,
And then we'll go in cycle.
20.
Yes.
In this way,
In this way,
you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated. Come to me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. 29. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me, in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Mataji, 30.
even if one commits the most abdominal action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. He quickly becomes riches and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, that devotee never perishes. Name bhakta pranashyati. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Ocean of Partha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishya, merchant, or and Shudra workers, can attain the supreme destination. 33. Mataji?
You have to start from 33, no? So,
Yes,
Kim
yes.
Putra Brahmana Munya Bhaktara Jastishtha Anityam Sukham Lokikam Ma Prapya Bhajasya Mam. How much more this is so of righteous Brahmanas and devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to his contemporary miserable world, engage in loving services unto me. Purport. This is material world. There are classification of people, but after all, this world is not a happy place for anyone. It is clearly stated here. Anityam, Asukham, Lokam. This world is temporarily and full of miseries, not habitable on my sane gentleman. This world is declared by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be a temporary, the full of miseries. Some philosophers, especially Mayavadi philosophers, say that this world is false, but we can understand from Bhagavad Gita that the world is not false, it is temporary. There is a difference between temporary and false. The world is temporarily, but there is another world which is eternal. The world is miserable, but the other world is eternal and blissful. Arjuna was born in saintly loyal family. To him also the Lord says, take to my devotional service and come quickly back to Godhead, back home. No one should remain in his temporary world, full of full as it is miseries. Everyone should attach himself to the bosom of the supreme personality of Godhead, so that he can be eternally happy. The devotional service of Supreme Lord is the only process by which all problems of, of, of all classes of man can be solved. Everyone should therefore take to Krishna consciousness and make his life perfect.
You, Mataji.
Should I,
So
should I go
you can
ahead?
read the next one also, and then we'll
Okay.
discuss. Yeah.
Manmana bhava bhakto madhyadimam naskuru mamesha vaishyasi muktrina bhavanatman yat prayana. Engage your mind always as thinking of me. Become my devotee devotee, offer obedience to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Purport. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that Krishna consciousness is the only means of being delivered from the clutches of this contaminated material world. Sometimes uncircumcised commentators distort the meaning of what is clearly stated here, that all devotional services should be affected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Unfortunately, uncirculous commentator divert the mind to the reader to that which is not at all feasible. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna mind and Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is absolute truth. His body is mind and he himself are one and absolute. It is
Absolutely.
stated in the Kurma Purana, uh, Kurma Purana, as it is quoted by the Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami in his Anubhasya comments on Chaitanya Charitamrita, fifth
Charitamrita.
chapter, Adi 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 Leela, verses 41 to 48. Daha Delhi, whether Vaide do यह न सर्व विद्यते कवचित. This means that there is no difference in Krishna body, but because the commentator do not know this science of Krishna, they hide Krishna and divide his personality from his mind or from his body. Although this is sheer ignorance of the science of Krishna, some men make profit out of the misleading people. There are same who are demonic. They also think of Krishna, but enviously, just like King Krishna, Krishna uncle.
Give
He
Kamsa.
was also thinking of Krishna always, but he thought he thought of Krishna as his enemy. He was he was always in anxiety and wondering what to. That kind of thinking will not help us. One should teach bhakti. One should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continuously. What is that favorable cultivation? It is to learn from the bona fide teacher. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and we have several times explained that his body is not material but is eternal blissful knowledge. That kind of talk about Krishna will help one become the devotee. Understanding Krishna otherwise from the wrong source will prove fruitless. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal from the primal form of Krishna with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the supreme. He should engage himself in worship. There are hundreds of thousands of temples in India for the worship of Krishna, and the devotional service is practiced there. When such practice is made, one has to offer obeisance to Krishna. One should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind, his body, his activities, everything will make one fully absorbed in Krishna without deviation. This will help one, one transfer to Krishna Loka. One should not be deviated by the unscrupulous commentators. One must engage in the 9 different processes of devotional services, beginning with hearing and chanting about Krishna. Pure devotional service is the highest achievement of human society. The seventh and eighth chapter of Bhagavad Gita have explained pure devotional service to the Lord that is free from speculative knowledge, mystic yoga, and figurative activities. Those who are not purely sacrificed by the attracted may be attracted by the different features of the Lord, like the impersonal Brahma Jyoti and localized Paramatma, but a but pure devotee directly takes to the service of the Supreme Lord. There is a beautiful poem about Krishna, which is it's clearly stated that any person who is engaged in the worship of demigod is most unintelligent and cannot achieve at any time the supreme award of the Krishna. The devotee in the beginning may sometimes fall from the standard, but still he should be considered superior to all other philosophers and yogis. One who always engaged in Krishna consciousness should be understood to be perfectly saintly person. His accidental non-devotional activities will diminish and he will soon be situated without any doubt in the complete perfection. The pure devotee has no actual chance to fall down because the supreme Godhead personally takes care of his pure devotee. Therefore, the intelligent person should take directly to the process of Krishna consciousness and happily live in his material world. He will eventually receive the supreme award of Krishna.
Thank
Thus
you.
the end of Bhagavad ninth chapter, Srimad Bhagavata Gita, in the matter of the most confidential knowledge. Jai Guru.
Thank you, Mataji. मन्मना मद्भक्तो मद्भव भक्तो मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मध्याजी माम नमस्कुरु माम एवस्य युक्ता युक्ताव्यम anta atmanam matparayana. So this is the conclusion of this chapter, that Krishna described so much about various things, beginning with, this chapter begins with what Krishna is telling, why I am telling this you knowledge, this Arjun. So he's telling reason why Arjun is selected to listen this, because he is never envious of Krishna. And then he says, this is Raj Vidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Right? So this is the king of education and most secret of all secret. That's why it's called most confidential knowledge, this chapter. And then he talks about how there are different things, this the mind blowing skies and all created being rest in me. And at the end of millennium, how everything enters into him, and the whole cosmic order is working under his control. And this material nature talks about this material nature. Maya adhyakshena prakriti surate sacharacharam hetunani nikonteya jagat parivartate. So he talks how this world is working under his direction, but the fools, people in this world, consider him as a human being. Right? Manusum tanumasrita. That's 11th sloka. And then he talks about how there are different demonic and atheistic views, and they get bewildered. And likewise, now he starts talking about this chapter sloka Satatam Kirtayanto Man Yatantasya Drahavrata Namastasyam Mam Bhaktya Nitya Ukta Upasate. He says that who are his great deities? So they are always chanting his glories with great determination. And then next sloka goes on to how Krishna is everything. I'm the ritual, I'm the sacrifice offering to ancestors, healing herbs, transcendental chant. I'm the butter and fire and offering. I'm Aham Bija Pada Prada Prata. So I'm father of this universe, mother and support, grandson, object of knowledge. He talks about everything, how he's giving his I'm the goal, I'm the sustainer, master, witness, refuse, most dear friend. I am also giver of heat, withhold, send forth of rain, immortality, I am the death personified, and both spirit and matter is in me. So likewise, this chapter kind of touches many things actually. But a specific focus is Krishna is disclosing his identity as the Supreme Brahman. He is the Supreme Person. He is describing that everything should be done for me. I'm the enjoyer, the master of all sacrifice. This is Loka. Aham hi sarvasya jnanam bhokta cha prabharev cha na tu bham vijananti tatvenaschavanti te. So this chapter will, as you see, at the end, Krishna is telling conclusion. Manmana madbhav bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mameva sasya yuktatma atmanam parayana. That engage your mind always thinking of me. Become my deity. Offer obeisances to me. Worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Right? So if you remember earlier, Krishna said that if you worship demigods, you go to their planets. If you worship pitras, you go to their planets. So Krishna is telling how we can reach to Krishna. And Prabhupada is giving very wonderful description here in purport that many people consider Krishna as a human being. Now in August, Janmashtami is coming, right? So Krishna's birthday. So many people will remember him, but after Janmashtami, nobody even remember. Now new God will come, right? New God every new month, right? Right now, Siva, right? Kamaria. So people are dying on the street, you know. So much heat, so much people are struggling and suffering. Police is beating. They're fighting with police. You see everyday news, and they are drunk. Like they most of people are drunk and ganja, bhang, everything. So, but that's not Lord Shiva is, and because we don't know the principle, we don't know what is the Lord Shiva. So we try to imitate Shiva, right? So we want to become a small Shiva, like Chota Shiva. I'm Chota Shiva, and then there is a Sambhu, Bada Shiva. So everybody wants to become Shiva, right? But that's not what Lord Shiva is. Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. He is one of the biggest Vaishnava. He's the topmost Vaishnava. He doesn't do all this what people doing on the street. And primarily they are doing because they are ignorant. They don't know actually. Most of people never read about Shiva. They have no idea about Lord Shiva. Only thing they know, Shiva eat poison. He drank poison, so he became Nilkant. So I should drink wine or ganja or something, right? But why not? Why not poison? Why not try poison? That will help. But no. So we don't want to become person like that. We want to become fixed in one place. Even if you are worshipping Shiva, become a big Shiva devotee. Understand Lord Shiva, his behavior, his what he likes, what he don't likes, what he chants, what he lives. And in Bhagavatam, there is a Rudra Gita. In Bhagavatam, I think it's 5th canto or 6th canto, where Lord Shiva sings and he talks about himself. And then so you'll hear from Sukadeva Goswami about Lord Shiva. So you should refer to Vedic literature about Shiva. So Srila Prabhupada concluding here that people are envious like Kamsa to Krishna because Kamsa was also a relative of Lord Krishna, but he hated Krishna. He wanted to kill Krishna, right? So this kind of thinking will not help because some people will say, oh, I'm thinking of Krishna, but as an enemy like Kamsa, Putana, so many, Sisupal. Sisupal in Mahabharata, if you read, he was also thinking of Krishna constantly, Duryodhan, but they were negative attraction, right? Like some things in our life we hate. but that's also we are thinking about it, right? So we don't want to become person like that. So here chapter 9 is concluding that man mana mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vasasya yuktatvam atmanam mat parayana, right? So from here we'll continue with chapter 10. And chapter 10, in ninth chapter, Krishna actually gave very brief description about his opulence. So he talks about I'm the heat, I'm the fire, I'm the air, I'm everything what we generally use in our life, Krishna is saying. But in chapter 10, Krishna is going further, open up his opulence, his glories. So we'll continue chapter 10. Who wants to read this one? 10.1. Any volunteer? Mukastu Prabhu or Vinay? Dr. Vinay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, please read.
Dr. Vinay will be reading. Or
Anyone, whatever works.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Vinay is reading Kastu Prabhu, so maybe you can do after him. Is okay? Is that okay?
Oye Mahabahu
Okay.
Sriduke Paramahamsucha Yadeham Taya Ram Vachyami Hi Pukamya. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. Purpose. The word Bhagwan is explained thus by Parasar full in six opulences, who has full strength, full fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, association, supreme personality of God. Wisdom was present on this earth, they displayed all six opulences. They said us like Parasar Muni, all accepted Krishna as the supreme personality. Now Krishna is instructing Arjuna in more confidential knowledge. This verse. Previously, beginning with the seventh chapter, the Lord has already explained his different energies and how they are acting. Now, in this chapter, he explains his specific opulences origin. In this chapter, he has clearly explained his different energies to establish devotion in form, conviction. Again, in this chapter, he tells Arjuna about his manifestation and various opulences. The more one hears about the Supreme God, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. One should always hear about the Lord in the association of devotees that will enhance one's devotional service. Discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to gain Krishna consciousness. Others cannot take part in such discourses. The Lord clearly tells Arjuna that because Arjuna is very dear to him, for his benefit, such discourses are taking place. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is very important point, the last section Dr. Vinay read, that right now we are all reading, so there is some commonality, right? The discourse we are discussing. Society of deities can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna conscious. So all of us, we also are anxious, we have anxiety. And at least at this moment, you have anxiety, you wanted to join and listen and discuss this Bhagavad Gita, right? So this can only happen among the people who are like-minded, who are especially, the like-minded could be also someone thief. Thief also like-minded, right? They want to thief everybody. But no, society of deities of Krishna, that kind of like-minded, right? Because even bad people have like-mind. They do like-mind things. But no,
And that can happen only when we are friend or neutral, right? So right now, all of us are to some degree maybe neutral or friend, right? So that's how we are able to sit together and discuss. Otherwise, nowadays, if four people sit together, there is always argument, right? This, that, you know, it's very hard to even hear someone else's voice because everybody is talking. If you go to in India parties, four people come together, then everybody is trying to say their words. Like everybody is just talking, talking, talking. I have this, I have that. Oh, I'm this, I'm this. But now when we talk about Krishna, because Krishna is center, Krishna is saying, listen again, O mighty Amarjuna, because you are my dear friend. And for your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So when we are genuinely friend, we always want to give better and better to the our friend. It's not any. So that's the friendship. That when the friends meet, the real friend meet, like Krishna is here, discussing with Arjun, and he wants to give Arjun better and better. He's saying, okay, let me tell you more, which I didn't tell you. It is something confidential, right? So that's the symptoms. You can know that who is your best friend. Because when you meet best friend, your friend will help you, advise you, support you, or even criticize you better. Because sometimes criticism is also good. Because then, being very honest, critical, but at the same time advising how to get out of it. Because just criticizing may not work. Criticism, but then what is the solution of the problem one is going through, right? So that's what Krishna is here telling Arjun that, okay, let's learn more about me. So 10.2, Kaustubh Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
न मे विदु सुरगणः प्रभवं न महर्षयः अहमा अहमादिर्हि देवानां महर्षिणां च सर्वशः. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect I am the source of the demigods, the sages. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than him. He is the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karana. Here it is also stated by the Lord personally that he is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even the demigods and great sages cannot understand Krishna. They can understand his name nor his personality. So what is the position of the so called scholars of this tiny planet? No one can understand why this Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. One should know then that scholars, scholarship is not the qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and the great sages have tried to understand Krishna by by their mental speculation, and they have failed to do so. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is clearly said that demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and can the opposite conclusion of impersonality of something not manifested by the three qualities of material nature, or they can imagine something by mental speculation. But it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish. Here, the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am present as the Supreme Personality of God. I am the Supreme. One should know this, although cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is the personally present. He nonetheless exists. We can actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. simply by studying his words in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. The conception of Lord as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. Because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual situation. Out of his causeless mercy, he descends to show favor to such speculators. Yet, yet despite the Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to contamination in the material energy, still think that the impersonal Brahman is the supreme. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord can understand, by the grace of Supreme Personality, that He is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about the impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring them to surrender immediately unto the Supreme Lord. And out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand Krishna. No one else can understand him. So great sages agree. What is Atma? What is the Supreme? It is He whom we have to worship. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, first, Krishna here establishing, as Prabhupada is explaining, that why this knowledge is not known, because Arjuna was very learned person. He was very highly educated. So Arjuna can think, oh, what is left? Now you already told about yourself, chapter 9. And previously, Krishna told so many things. But Krishna is saying, clarifying that this knowledge is not even known to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or great sages, right? So, for example, if I want to know something about Vinay, then I have to ask about from him. Like, I cannot ask his neighbors because his neighbors will say something. Oh, no, he's not a good person, or he's very good person, or you have, because they may have a partial knowledge about his situation, like what he is. But if you want to know about Vinay, you go directly. He if he says I am this, you have to believe it. You cannot no, no, no. I don't think so. So then you find out. You will never find out. Even whole life you search for it, right? So, likewise, and given the person should have authority, like Krishna, Krishna is saying nobody knows this because it's confidential. It's very confidential what he's going to tell now. And he's telling only to his friend Arjun, because with the friends we share our confidential things. I mean, nowadays in the world, even people don't share with friend also, because you never know who is your friend, who is your enemy many times, right? So in this world, it's very hard to find even a very good friend. It's very difficult. So, but still, we share whatever friendship we have with some people. We tend to disclose our heart, our mind. Maybe happiness or distress, either case. So this conception of sharing is also happening here, and Krishna is doing this with Arjun. And because nobody can understand Supreme, only Supreme can explain itself. So I'll read this one, 10.3. Okay. Yo mam, all of us, we should repeat when, I missed earlier, but when somebody reads, it's good idea to repeat so that all of us reading together, right? The slokas, the Sanskrit. Okay. So you can unmute and I'll read one part and then we repeat, right? We'll repeat. Yo mam ajam anadim cha
Yo
Yo
mam
ajam
ajam
anadim cha
anadim ch
veti loka maheshwaram
veti
Vetti
loka
loka maheshwaram
maheshwaram
ashammudha shamratyeshu
asammudha
ashamudasya
samartheshu
madhyesu
sarva
sarva
papaya pramuchyate.
sarva
sarva
pape
papai pramuchyate
pramuchte
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. He who knows me as unborn, as the beginningless, as the Supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undiluted among men, is freed from all sins. So you see, somebody can ask you question, who is freed from all sins? This could be a question, right? So Krishna is telling, who knows me, who knows Krishna as unborn and beginningless. He doesn't have any beginning, he is not born, and Supreme Lord of the all, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, right? Same thing. So we'll read Prabhupada purport. So only that person can be called freed from all sins, right? Because people think of sin and piety, right? So let's read purport. As stated in 7th chapter, 7.3, Manushyanam sahasresu kaschit yayati siddhye. Those who are trying to elevate themselves to the platform of spiritual realization are not ordinary men. So all of us who we are trying to read this Bhagavad Gita are not ordinary. We should not consider ourselves as ordinary men, right? They are superior to millions and millions of ordinary men who have no knowledge of spiritual realization. But out of those actually trying to understand their spiritual situation, one who can come to understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the proprietor of everything, the unborn, is the most successful spiritually realized person. In that stage only, when one has fully understood Krishna's supreme position, can one be freed completely from all sinful reactions. Here, the Lord described by the word Aja means unborn, but he is distinct from the living entity who are described in the 2nd chapter as Aja. The Lord is different from the living entity who are taking birth and dying due to the material attachment. The conditioned souls are changing their bodies, but his body is not changeable. Even when he comes to this material world, he comes with as same unborn. Therefore, in the 4th chapter, it is said that the Lord, by his internal potency, is not under inferior material energy, but is always the superior energy. In this verse, the word Veti Loka Maheshwaram indicate that one should know that the Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor of the planetary system of the universe. He was existing before the creation. He is different from all creations. All the demigods were created within this material world. But as far as Krishna is concerned, it is said that he is not created. Therefore, Krishna is different even from the great demigod like Lord Brahma and Shiva. And because he is the creator of Brahma and Shiva and all demigods, he is the supreme person of all planets. Sri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. One must be liberated from all sinful reaction to be in knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Only by devotion service he can be known, and not by any other means, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. One should try not to. One should not try to understand Krishna as a human being. As stated previously, only a foolish person think him to be a human being. This is again expressed here in different way. A man who is not foolish, who is intelligent enough to understand the constitutional position of Godhead, is always free from all sinful reaction. If Krishna is known to be the son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. When he appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva, he was not born as an ordinary child. He appeared in his original form, and then he transformed into an ordinary child. Anything done under the direction of Krishna is transcendental. It cannot be contaminated by material reaction, which may be auspicious or inauspicious. The conception that there are things auspicious and inauspicious in this material world is more or less a mental concoction. You see, this is very important. We think sometimes, oh, there is something auspicious, inauspicious. And Prabhupada is saying no. Actually, everything is inauspicious. So she says, because there is nothing auspicious in this material world. Everything is inauspicious because the very material nature is inauspicious. We simply imagine Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and from bona fide spiritual master. Because the spiritual master is representative of Supreme Lord, his direction is directly the directions of the Supreme Lord. The spiritual master, saintly person, and scriptures direct in same way. There is no contradiction in these three sources. All actions done under the directions are freed from the reactions of pious and impious activities of this material world. The transcendental attitude of the devotee in the performance of activities is actually that of renunciation, and that is called shamnyas. I stated in first verse of 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, first verses of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one who acts in a matter of duty. So this is the first sloka of 6th chapter. That's what Krishna is talking. One who acts at a matter of duty because he has been ordered to do so by the Supreme Lord, and who does not seek shelter in the fruits of his activities, anasrita karma phalam, is a truer answer. Anyone acting under the direction of Supreme Lord is actually a sannyasi and a yogi, and not a man who has simply taken the dress of sannyasi or a pseudo yogi, right? So this sloka is very important because many times our mind thinks of piety and sinful actions. But Krishna is saying it's very simple to be pious. We don't have to do big sacrifice or donations or so many tapasya. No, we just understand what yo mam ajam anadim cha. You just know Krishna as a ajam and anadim. He's unborn and he's the oldest, beginningless, right? That's it. And Supreme Lord of the world. Veti Loka Maheshwaram. You just know Krishna is the Loka Maheshwar. He is the Supreme Person. Okay. So that's the beginning of spiritual life, that we become sinless. We get rid of all our mischievous activities, reactions, which is sin. So that's the beginning of spiritual life. To accept Krishna as the Ajam, Anadim, and Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, right? These three things. Like, so that's the beginning, and anybody can do it. You don't need any big money or power or you need education. I don't think. So let's read 4 and 5, and Nagarani Mataji can read.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. बुद्धिर्ज्ञानम् असंयोहम् क्षमा सत्यं दमा समः सुखं दुःखं भावो भावो भयं च भयम् इव च अहिंसा संहततस्तिस्तपोधानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भवभूतानां मत्ता एव प्रत्यागविदाः. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy, all these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Perfect. The different qualities of living entities, be they good or bad, are all created by Krishna and they are described here. Intelligence refers to the power to analyze things in their proper perspective, and knowledge refers to understanding what is spirit and what is matter. Ordinary knowledge obtained by a university education pertains only to matter and it is not accepted here as knowledge. Knowledge means knowing the distinction between spirit and matter. In modern education, there is no knowledge about spirit. They are simply taking care of material elements and bodily needs. Therefore, academic knowledge is not complete. Asammoha, freedom from doubt and delusion, can be achieved when one is not hesitant and when he understands the transcendental philosophy. Slowly but surely he becomes free from bewilderment. Nothing should be accepted blindly. Everything should be accepted with care and with caution. Kshama, tolerance and forgiveness should be practiced. One should be tolerant and excuse the minor offenses of others. Satyam, truthfulness, means the facts should be presented as they are for the benefit of others. Facts should not be misrepresented. According to social conventions, it is said that one can speak the truth only when it is palatable to others. But that is not truthfulness. The truth should be spoken in a straightforward way so that others will understand actually what the facts are. If a man is a thief and if people are warned that he is a thief, that is truth. Although sometimes the truth is unpalatable, one should not refrain from speaking it. Truthfulness demands that the facts be presented as they are for the benefit of others. That is the definition of the truth. Control of senses means that the sense should not be used for unnecessary personal enjoyment. There is no prohibition against meeting the proper needs of senses, but unnecessary sense enjoyments is detrimental for spiritual advancement. Therefore, the sense should be restrained from unnecessary use. Similarly, one should restrain the mind from the unnecessary thoughts. That is called sama. One should not spend one's time pondering over earning money. This is a misuse of the thinking power. The mind should be used to understand the prime necessary of the human beings, and that should be presented authori- authoritatively. The power of thought should be developed in association with the persons who are authorities in the scriptures, saintly persons, and spiritual masters, and those whose thinking is highly developed. Pleasure are highly developed. Sukham, pleasure or happiness, should always be in that which is favorable for the cultivation of the spiritual knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And similarly, that which is painful or which causes distress is that which is unfavorable for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Anything favorable for the development of Krishna consciousness should be accepted, and anything unfavorable should be rejected. Bhava, birth, should be understood to refer to the body. As far as the soul is concerned, there is neither birth nor death. That we should discuss in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Birth and death apply to one's embodiment in the material world. Fear is due to worrying about the future. A person in Krishna consciousness has no fear because by his activities he is sure to go back to the spiritual sky, back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, his future is very bright. Others, however, do not know what their future holds. They have no knowledge of what the next life holds. So they are therefore in constant anxiety. If we want to get free from anxiety, then the best course is to understand Krishna and be situated always in Krishna's consciousness. In that way, we will be free from all fear. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.37, it is stated, Bhayam, Bhayam Dvaitiya Bina Binivesatya Syat, fear is caused by our absorption in the illusory energy. But those who are free from the illusory energy, those who are confident that they are not the material body, that they are spiritual parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who are therefore engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Godhead, having nothing to fear. Their future is very bright. This fear is a condition of persons who are not in Krishna consciousness. Abhayam, fearlessness, is possible only for one in Krishna consciousness. Ahimsa, non-violence, means that one should not do anything which will put others into misery or confusion. Material activities that are promised by so many politicians, sociologists, philanthropists, etc., do not produce very good results because the politicians and philanthropists have no transcendental vision. They do not know what is actually beneficial for human society. Ahimsa means that People should be trained in such a way that the full utilization of human body can be achieved. The human body is meant for spiritual realization. So any movement or any commissions which do not further that end commit violence on the human body. That which further the future spiritual happiness of the people in general is called non-violence. Samatha, equanimity, refers to no freedom from the attachment and aversion. To be very much attached to or to be very much detached is not the best. This material world should be accepted without attachment or aversion. That which is favorable for prosecuting Krishna consciousness should be accepted, that which is unfavorable should be rejected. This is called samatha, equanimity. A person in Krishna consciousness has nothing to reject and nothing to accept save in terms of its usefulness in the prosecution of Krishna consciousness. Tusti, satisfaction, means that one should not be eager to gather more and more material goods by unnecessary activity. One should be satisfied with whatever is obtained by the grace of Supreme Lord. That is called satisfaction. Tapas means austerity or penance. There are many rules and regulations in the Vedas which apply here, like rising early in the morning and taking a bath. Sometimes it is very troublesome to rise early in the morning, but whatever voluntary trouble one may suffer in this way is called penance. Similarly, there are prescriptions for fasting on certain days of the month. One may not be inclined to practice such fasting, but because of his determination to make advancement in the science of Krishna consciousness, he should accept such bodily troubles when they are recommended. However, one should not be fast unnecessarily or against Vedic injunctions. One should not fast for some political purpose that is described in Bhagavad Gita as fasting in ignorance. And anything done in ignorance or passion does not lead to spiritual advancement. Everything done in the mode of goodness does advance one. However, and fasting done in terms of Vedic injunctions enriches one in spiritual knowledge. As far as charity is concerned, one should give 50% of his earnings to some good cause. And what is a good cause? It is that which is conducted in terms of Krishna consciousness. That is not only a good cause, but the best cause. Because Krishna is good, his cause is also good. Thus, charity should be given to a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness. According to the Vedic literature, it is enjoined that charity should be given to the Brahmanas. The practices is still followed, although not very much nicely in terms of Vedic injunction. But still, the injunction is that charity should be given to the Brahmanas. Why? Because they are engaged in higher cultivation of spiritual knowledge. A Brahmana is supposed to devote his whole life understanding Brahman. Brahma, Brahma, Janatiti Brahmanaha. One who knows Brahman is called Brahmana. Thus, charity is offered to the Brahmanas because they are always engaged in higher spiritual services and have no time to earn their livelihood. In the Vedic culture, charity is also to be awarded to one in the renounced order of life, the sannyasi. The sannyasi beg from door to door not for money but for missionary purposes. The system is that they go from door to door to awaken the householders from the slumber of ignorance, because the householders are engaged in the family affairs and have forgotten their actual purpose of life, awakening their Krishna consciousness. It is the business of the sannyasis to go as beggars to the householders and encourage them to be Krishna conscious. As it said in the Vedas, one should awake and achieve what is due him in his human form of life. This knowledge and method is distributed by sannyasis. Hence, charity is to be given to the renounce of life, to the brahmanas. Also, similar good causes, not to any whimsical cause. Fame, yes, fame should be according to Lord Chaitanya, who said that a man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. That is real fame. If one has become a great man in Krishna consciousness and it is known, then he is truly famous. One who does not have such fame is infamous. All these qualities are manifest throughout the universe in human society and in the society of the demigods. There are many forms of humanity on other planets, and these qualities are there. Now, for one who wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, Krishna creates all these qualities, but the person develops them himself from within. One who engages in the devotional service of Supreme Lord develops all the good qualities as arranged by the Supreme Lord. Of whatever we find, good or bad, the origin is Krishna. Nothing can manifest itself in this material world which is not in Krishna. That is knowledge. Although we know that things are differently situated, we should realize that everything flows from Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So it was a long purport, but this these two slokas, Krishna is describing how different qualities in us: intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt, delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of senses, control of mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy, all these. So Krishna is describing all good and bad qualities, right? Happiness, distress, birth, fear, fearlessness, non community, satisfaction, fame, infamy, right? So it's very nice. Prabhupada is giving a definition of each of these terms, like intelligence, freedom from delusion and doubt. So what is intelligence? Prabhupada is saying power to analyze things in their proper perspective is called intelligence. And what is the function of intelligence? Is the knowledge. So if you say someone is intelligent, it is obvious that he is knowledgeable or she is knowledgeable, right? You say, oh, this person is very intelligent. And of course, that's a function. Freedom from illusion and doubt, then control of senses, then bhava, birth, ahimsa, non-violence, samatha, equanimity, tushti, satisfaction, charity, right? And then Prabhupada goes on describing the role of sannyasi in collecting charity, how they should do. And yasha, fame. Like, who is famous? Once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked, who is famous? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he who is the devotee of Lord Krishna is the real famous person. And right now we know so many people, especially you see the life of Srila Prabhupada, he's world famous, he's Jagat Guru. In every nook and corner of the world, he is being worshipped. His books are being distributed. Who is the most famous? Actually, he is the most famous than most of people whom we know in India, like Mahatma Gandhi. Not everybody may know, but he is actually more famous than Mahatma Gandhi, because Mahatma Gandhi may be known in few countries and may be known in politicians, because he's taught in textbooks. So a lot of Indians may know. But the internationally, Chinese or someone maybe Cambodia or remote countries may not know who is Gandhi. I mean, now because of internet, everybody knows. But otherwise, it's very hard. But Lord Srila Prabhupada is known in almost every city. He has temples. People are preaching. He is being worshipped. ISKCON has almost 200 plus temples in the world. So 200 is in almost 200 to 250 is in India, and rest 1,000 is in across the world, right? So TOT is most famous, and all these qualities Prabhupada is saying manifest through the universe in human society and society of demigods. And there are many forms of humanity on other planet, and these qualities are there. But for now, no one wants to advance in Krishna consciousness. Krishna created all these qualities. but the person develops them himself from within. So how does this come in ourselves? When we seriously chant Hare Krishna and we are very serious about our Krishna conscious business, then these qualities will come automatically from within. Sarvasya chaham hridisanyavisto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna says that I am sitting in the heart and I give intelligence, knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. So Krishna will give these qualities because he is the creator of these qualities, right? So we find many things good or bad, but everything origin is Krishna. We say no. And because this whole material world is created by him. So although we know that things are differently situated, we should realize that everything flows from Krishna. So that does not mean that we start doing wrong things and say, oh, it's all Krishna, right? That's not the purpose. Purpose is to become intelligent, and to become intelligent, to be in knowledge. To be in knowledge means we should know what is what in the right context, right? So that's what Prabhupada explained. Any questions, comments? We'll stop here, and we'll take and we'll discuss if anything we have to share here. Okay, please feel free to share anything, your realization or comments. Hare Krishna.
No comments, Prabhuji. After a long time, we are meeting.
Yes, we meeting long time. I know. It was a months of gap. I was traveling India and then in US, and then we had a lot of things to fix. But now
Okay.
I'll be more regular.
Okay.
Janmashtami.
Janmashtami, that Saturday, Sunday would be busy. Otherwise, I think it should be smooth. And we should finish this 18 chapters. And yeah, so we are already 10 now, 10th chapter. So yes, I hope, I pray for me and we can continue.
Yeah, I think I
Hare
missed some
Krishna.
chapters.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just because of sudden demises of my son, my mother-in-law, and my father within a gap of 1 month.
Oh,
Yeah, we
that's
were.
a lot. Yeah. You never know, right? Like things go very fast.
Yes, yes,
It's like almost everything finished. The one generation over.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. It's very touching to lose father, mother, even though they are old, but it's just
Yes,
not having that shelter or someone to share things and say things out, right?
yes, Prabhuji.
So, yeah, I know it's been hard for you, and yeah, we pray for them that wherever they are, they continue doing their bhakti, because you see, after death, nothing is value, right? I mean,
Yes,
even when alive, what is the value? But after death, actually, there is no value.
yes,
Everyone has to die, actually, whether young, old. But in this meantime, this time, we think everything is important except bhakti. Except devotional life, everything becomes important because this is the material world. So, but we have to change it. We have to just switch it. Like everything is not important except bhakti.
yes,
Then,
Prabhuji.
then automatically, when we put Krishna in the center, because you have just like many people, even Hital Mataji, I think, some pastor, right? Someone, grandfather, grandmother, and she was sharing that because she is reading Bhagavad Gita from many months. Previously, also in her life, she has many people passing away, but she became very morose earlier, like before reading Bhagavad Gita. But since he was reading Bhagavad Gita for many months, now this time someone passed away, and she was saying that she was very, very firm and very composed and calm, and she could logic out like, what is it, right? Like it's not that that's the end of the world. Like they will continue their life somewhere next life in some body.
Yes, yes. Maybe
So
the soul go to next
yeah,
life.
as per their karmas, as per their desire, Krishna will reward a new body within 9 months.
Yes.
Within 9 months, like, and if not, if they go to spiritual world, then they also get body. If they go to Brahma Jyoti, they don't get body because it's just light there. You know, there are planets in Brahma Jyoti, but they meditate. It's like samadhi. You know, the Brahman realization. They go to samadhi. In
Yes.
samadhi, actually, you don't need body. You just meditating on Supreme Brahman.
Yes.
So either case, it's good. What happens? Oh, sorry. No, 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 no.
Day.
No, 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 रो नहीं सब लोग सुन रहे हैं
Yep.
नहीं
Yep.
रो नहीं
Your birthday or your brother's birthday?
नहीं नहीं नहीं।
No, she don't have a birthday. Just she's
मम्मा मम्मा ने स्कोल्ड किया मम्मा ने डांटा ऐसे बोल
Okay. Okay.
रही
Yeah, both are playing together. I've seen WhatsApp
Oh
status.
yes, Gorangi Gorang, yeah.
Nice to see them.
They are now grown. 1 year already.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
think there will
Costa Prabhu uh, may know. And
yeah, we plan to finish this. I think the chapters will now go faster because they are now Prabhupada. You will see he will not write a lot of purports because he already described so much in 9 chapters. So it will be quick unless something like this where he is giving definitions. And this definition is very important in our life. Many times we get confused. What is knowledge? What is intelligence? What is ahimsa? What is non-violence, equanimity? So please try to read these carefully and understand yourself because whatever we understand ourselves will stay with us. You know, other thing will go away. But only thing which we imbibe or absorb in our consciousness, our brain, our mind, essentially brain means mind, so that will stay. Okay. Any questions? Anything? Kosta Prabhu, you want to share something?
Vishnu, actually, I also want to emphasize that exams couldn't be conducted between. He was also absent for many of the classes.
Yes. But I think after few sessions, like maybe 2, 3, you see who is coming, who is not,
Hmm.
and we
I
can
think
have
four chapter or 5 chapter exams were taken up to Adhyay 4, Adhyay 5 exams were taken up to now.
okay. Yes.
Only, I think, Kamini Mataji, then Sarvesh Prabhu, and 3, 4 people had appeared for exams.
Okay.
Initially, but last 2, 3 exams were appeared by only 3 to 4 people.
Okay. So you can just invite them if they want to appear. And yes, we'll continue from there. And we'll try to finish Bhagavad Gita. Now we are almost half over.
Yes.
So and you'll see your book also is more than half is over.
So it's around 650 pages. Na?